Welcome again to our Digital Grades and Diplomas webinar. These were just launched a week, not even a week ago, and we are ready to go with these assessments. So Trinity has designed these qualifications for classical and jazz initial to grade 8, rock and pop initial to grade 8, and the music performance diplomas ATCL and LTCL. No FTCL is available, and there are no certificate, duet, or ensemble exams under this qualification. So this digital assessment is in response really to the way our world has changed over the last 9 months. It's been a difficult time for all, for you as teachers, for us who were delivering these exams. We have had to change a lot, and Trinity has gone along with that and responded to the changing world by designing these digital exams. And specifically, these exams, the learning and assessment activities are designed so that they are for the digital space. We have a lot of experience, 140 years and more. We're still doing our qualifications. We're just doing it a little differently. The same regulation is there, the same academic rigor. We have to conform to Ofqual. These are all approved by Ofqual, and you will get all the credits that you used to get in the grades 6 to 8. And as always, since Trinity is all about performance and choice and flexibility, you will have lots of choice in these exams. Plus, once things are back to normal, which we all hope will be very soon, candidates can choose between the face-to-face or the digital. So this means that the digital grades and diplomas are a permanent product. It will coexist besides the face-to-face exams, and you can make a choice as to which one you would like to take. So we had an interim solution in the summer, which was put together very quickly so as not to stop the learning process and the teaching process. So let's look at what has changed from that. The main thing is that there are no more calculated marks now. Everything is going to be assessed directly by the examiner. Also, the customer interaction is with the local Trinity customer support office, which means you give your entries there, and whatever support you need and queries you have will be addressed from the local Trinity office. We all know there were a lot of problems with the IT system during the interim solution. Updates and improvements, and a lot of investment has gone into this before we launched the digital grades. And we are quite confident that the user experience will be quite smooth. Larger video files can be submitted now than before. The requirements for these digital exams are very closely aligned to those of the face-to-face grades and diplomas. Of course, all instruments are included. Now, what is different is that technical work has also been included in the classical and jazz, and in the rock and pop, the technical focus song is already there. There is a new overall performance criteria, which replaces supporting tests and session skills. And we will be looking at this in great detail. The usual syllabus requirements for accompaniment and instruments come back, which means that if you are doing an accompanied instrument exam, you will need a live accompaniment, unless in the case of lockdown or health and safety reasons, national or local. There is a provision for that, which I will give you in details later on in the presentation. Having the original book is mandatory now. Even if you are not using the music, Trinity has asked that it be visible. For singing candidates, of course, you can keep it on the side because they do not like to have anything in front of them. They always sing from memory. And as I said, COVID special arrangements are in place for the exams. There is a new submission information form for providing all your list of pieces, technical work choices, etc. And this is very much like the appointment slip that you have in a face-to-face exam, but there are some more details which we will look at. What is not changed? The structure of the diplomas. But do remember, it's only ATCL and LTCL. Performance. The video still has to be one continuous performance of all items. Your exam is going to be assessed by TCL's expert panel of examiners. The candidates are still going to upload their exams into the exam portal. And of course, you will still be providing a list of pieces and songs on the submission info form. If we compare the face-to-face, the interim, and now the digital grades, we see that pieces and songs remain same across the three. Face-to-face has technical work. Interim did not have, there was a calculated result. And digital grades also have technical work. Supporting tests have been replaced in digital grades by overall performance, and in the rock and pop, session skills has been replaced by overall performance. The diplomas remain the same. You have your pieces or songs and the written program. There is no addition or subtraction to that. So let's get a little overview of the exam itself. Now, as I said earlier, classical and jazz, rock and pop, and diplomas. These three booklets that you see on the right of the screen are actually information booklets for classical, diplomas, as well as rock and pop syllabus. The main syllabus, which is in your syllabus books, will still be there and you have to refer to that. Please check the website for the most up-to-date version. These booklets, which are available for download on our website, there are no hard copies, will give you all the specifications of the exam, what is needed, how you can go about it in great detail. The exam structure remains the same. For classical, pieces are still carrying 66 marks, technical work 14 marks. Supporting tests had 20 marks. Now overall performance is given 20 marks. So let's see how it works for the grade exams in the classical. For the candidate, he selects the pieces from the syllabus, also selects technical work group from the list. Don't worry, I will go through this in details and tell you how you do that. The exam is filmed as one continuous performance. No editing is allowed. Completes the submission information form, uploads the video as well as any scans or photos of non-Trinity music, any own compositions or own choice pieces also to be uploaded. In the classical, of course, there's no own choice piece, and then submits it on Trinity exam portal. So this is the process for the candidate. For the examiner will watch the submitted exam, awards marks for recital after one viewing. This is a question I had put to London, like we do one continuous take, will the examiner revisit the recording when he is marking it? And they clarified that no, it will be marked after listening to it only once. Awards marks for the technical work, for the overall performance, comments will be written, and the final result will be declared. So everything is done by the examiner here, so you'll get your full result in one shot. For the diploma, it remains the same: recital 96 marks, program planning 4 marks. And all details here remain the same for the candidate, except the candidate has to upload written program. Candidate also has to upload any approval letters if pieces have been chosen from outside the given ones in the syllabus. So please remember that for diploma candidates. The examiner does exactly the same as in the grade exams. For rock and pop, there are 2 segments: song 1 and 2, 50 marks, and technical focus song, 30 marks. And session skills replaced by overall performance with 20 marks. And the process is exactly the same. We have an own choice option here. So if you're choosing an own choice, please upload the music. Everything else remains the same from the examiner also. Now we get into the technical work. So let us see what happens in the technical work. We all know that the technical work is given for all instruments and you have to prepare it all, and the examiner chooses what to ask. Everything is not asked for. Now here, since there's no examiner in the picture, Trinity has created bundles or groups for the technical work. Each bundle is a combination of chosen scales, arpeggios, exercises, or studies as per the syllabus requirement. So there are 2 bundles created for each grade. The candidate will choose either section 1 or section 2 or section 3 or a combination from the bundle as per the syllabus guidelines again. Please remember, different instruments have different technical work. So I will take you through that also to give you an example. And the choice of the technical work needs to be indicated on the submission information form. So for any technical work that has to be played from memory, which includes your scales, triads, broken chords, arpeggios, you need to close your book as you do in a face-to-face exam. However, to facilitate you as to what you need to play, you may have a prompt sheet, which is a sheet on which you have written down the scales, triads, broken chords, arpeggios that you have chosen to perform. But there should be no other information other than the name of the scale, which hand, the dynamics, the articulation. That is it. And before you start playing your technical work, you need to hold this list up to the camera and then place it on the music stand for yourself. It's also permissible for another person to read out from this sheet before each scale or arpeggio is played, so that he is almost like he does what the examiner does. And this actually helps with younger candidates. So if there's somebody in the room saying, could you please play the C major scale, right hand, legato, piano? That's all that needs to be said. And for exercises or studies, you may use the score that is in your books. Now I'm going to show you an example of the classical and piano grade 4. These are the 2 bundles that have been created. This is piano grade 4, which needs scales, arpeggios, and it also needs exercises. These 3 things are compulsory. So in the first bundle on the left, if you look at it, you have E major and F minor. Alongside that, you have hands together, which is how you need to play the scale, forte for the E major, piano for the F minor, legato for E major, staccato for F minor, and 2 octaves. Speed is also given. The chromatic scale is also there in similar motion, and a contrary motion chromatic scale starting on A flat. Again, all directions are given against the scale. It is given for the contrary motion that it is to be played only 1 octave. And below that, the arpeggios are listed. So this is all you need to play for the scales and arpeggios. So this is 1A, that is the set of scales and arpeggios or the bundle. And on the right is 1B, which includes the other scales and arpeggios in the grade. So you could choose either 1B or 1A. That's up to you. Exercises which are compulsory need to be chosen also. That is number 2. And you can see you have the 3 groups listed, group 1, 2, and 3. And you have to perform 2 exercises selected from different groups. So if you take waltz echoes from group 2, you can take for your second exercise either one from group 3, could be timelines, or one from group 1, which could be evening sun. So you have a choice of just playing 2 exercises, but they must be from different groups. Now I'm going to show you the prompt sheet that can be there. It could be a Word document. It could be just the photograph of what the group that you have chosen, whatever is convenient. And this is how a Word document could be. E major, hands together, 2 octaves, forte, legato. F, harmonic minor. I didn't mention earlier, but the minor scale is the choice of the candidate which one to play, harmonic or melodic. Whichever you are playing, please put it in the prompt sheet. Chromatic scale, contrary motion, similar motion, arpeggios. You can write it in short form also. You can write P for piano, F for forte, as long as you understand it and it's clear to the examiner also that this is the group you have chosen. That's all the examiner needs to know. So I hope this is quite clear. I'm going to look at a few other instruments, popular instruments. So for acoustic or plectrum guitar, it's very simple. There are no exercises or studies. There are 2 groups that are given, and you choose one of them, either group 1 or group 2. For the string instruments, I've shown you an example for violin, grade 1. Now, this is a little more complicated because you have a bowing exercise that is compulsory. So that has to be played whether you are choosing scales and arpeggios or whether you're choosing studies. So your bowing exercise is compulsory. You will play that. After that, you either choose scales and arpeggios and technical from set A, or scales, arpeggios, and technical exercise from set B. If you're not choosing scales and arpeggios and you have prepared the studies, you will do the bowing exercise and then you will do 2 of the studies from the list of 3. So I hope that is clear. Of course, I can't leave out electronic keyboard. So this is grade 5 of electronic keyboard. So you have to play either keyboard exercise, scales, and chord knowledge from set A, or keyboard exercise, scales, and chord knowledge from set B. Or the third option is keyboard exercise and the exercises which cover the keyboard functions. And out of these keyboard functions, it should be only 2 are chosen. So to reiterate, keyboard exercise compulsory, then either scales and chord knowledge set A or set B. If you're not doing scales and chord knowledge after the keyboard exercise, you will do 2 of the exercises. So I hope that is clear. Now we are coming to a segment which is totally new, overall performance. And I'm going to try and make this as clear as possible. So I'll just go back a little and tell you how this overall performance was decided to give a mark for overall performance. Trinity looked at the content as well as the delivery of the exam. They then mapped the musical skills and knowledge that the candidate needs to develop to perform the supporting tests and session skills. Also studied the learning outcomes of teaching these tests. What does the candidate learn when the teacher teaches these tests? These skills are actually, they found, not only outcomes of supporting tests and session skills, they are also demonstrated in the performance of the pieces and the technical work. For example, when you're doing your technical work, if you just play a series of notes for your scales, it is just notes. But the minute you give a little shape to the scale or shape to your arpeggio, it becomes a performance. And that is what they are looking for. Your knowledge of the technical work, of course, but how you deliver that technical work is also important. In our pieces, we have all these criteria. The musicianship skills are all there with notational accuracy, technical fluency, and communication skills. So a step further it has gone now, and they are also assessing all this as an overall performance. So rather than create a new set of tests, Trinity decided to devise a criteria that would assess these skills across the whole performance, which means your pieces and your technical work. This approach was thoroughly tested with examiners and teachers, and they made sure that the result that came out of this was the same as a face-to-face exam. So now we look at exactly how this performance is marked, overall performance. There are 2 sections to it. The first is performance delivery and focus, and the second is musical awareness. And it's the same for rock and pop and the same for classical and jazz. Under performance delivery and focus, they are looking at assurance and continuity of delivery. I will give you details on this also, as well as consistency of focus. Did your focus waver? Were you consistent in how you delivered your pieces and your technical work? Under musical awareness, it's a demonstration of musical personality, as well as how well you have understood the styles and genres of your pieces and how you are able to move from one to the other, maybe sometimes within a piece, maybe sometimes between 2 pieces. And in that little booklet that I showed you in the beginning, you have all this criteria here, how you can get distinction, merit, pass, below pass in the 2 segments. So do go through that. While I'm going to take you to the next slide with a little more detail about the 2 sections. So if we look at performance delivery and focus, this will assess, as I said, focus, which could translate into consistent musicianship skills across your pieces and technical work. The second point will be assurance, which could be the secure knowledge of their chosen work and the confidence with which they deliver it. That is the third point, your confident delivery of the performance. And this could well include stage presence, the tuning of the instrument, the holding of the instrument, a posture, how you turn your pages, are you fumbling, have you got it clipped in order of the pieces so that you just turn once and your next piece is there, how you are attired for the exam. It should be as if you are doing a performance. I'm not saying that you wear formal wear and things like that, but as you do in a face-to-face exam, we don't land up for an exam totally, in chappals or something like that. We are well turned out. All candidates are well turned out for the exam. And this is now being assessed. You're getting marks for this. So do make sure that this happens. Looking at musical awareness, this assesses musical knowledge, which means, as I said before, how you interpret different styles and genres and switch between them, and also how convincingly you realize the performance directions in the score. Now, what does that mean? I just like to spend a little time on this. You have a piano moving to a crescendo and then coming back to a piano. So the crescendo and the diminuendo is marked over there. There are different styles of pieces written at different times, which require different interpretation. So for you to be aware, the candidate must be aware, and he will only be aware through the teacher, of how this crescendo is to be played. Maybe in this style of music, the crescendo will go only from P to MP and back to piano. Maybe in another style of music, it may go from piano to almost fortissimo and back again. So it all depends on the style and your understanding of that style, how you interpret it. And of course, personal interpretations are being given importance, which means that you are engaged with the piece. You, as the candidate, have put in your own interpretation of the piece somewhere, maybe not everywhere, but definitely you have owned this performance, you have studied it, and you have given it a thought as to where you felt, where there's no marking, you put in something. If there's no pedal mark and you felt that the pedal is needed in a piano exam, you've done it. If there's no cantabile, you've done it in all instruments. So this is what it means. And the team has spent quite a lot of time, Priya, myself, Gopal, in trying to decode this for y'all. And I hope this has been useful, because this is a totally new area. So the benefits of having this overall performance is that we are not teaching anything new. You just have to adapt a little bit and you can continue as you were teaching. It also avoids any reliance on technology. Supporting test session skills could not be delivered without video conferencing, and there is a lot of problem with that. We as teachers all know it. And then, of course, the candidates are submitting their exams at the most appropriate time, which is suitable for them. They can choose how many times they record and choose the right recording from it. There is no excuse now of saying, I was not at my best that day, because you have a choice now to choose your best performance. A little bit about syllabus overlap. There's a lot of questions that come up on that. It's very, very clear now. The new syllabus in the classical is acoustic guitar, classical guitar, strings, and drum kit, which came in on 1st January 2020. The overlap of the old syllabus, that is 2016 to 19, runs from 1st January 2020 now till 31st July 2021. So please remember, you can use the old syllabus up to 31st July 2021. So during this period, you may offer pieces and technical work from either syllabus, but do not mix the two syllabuses. We always say that. And there is a new piano syllabus 2021 to 2023. Make sure you don't offer it for the exams before 1st January 2021. Till then, please use the 18 to 20 syllabus. And this 2018 to 20 syllabus, the current syllabus, will overlap till 31st December 2021. So I hope this is clear. For rock and pop, there is no new syllabus. The old syllabus continues. So do continue teaching the old pieces, the old syllabus. It's the current syllabus. I'm sorry, it's not the old syllabus. So now we move into a little bit of a summary of what you need to do for the exam. You read the relevant exam syllabus and select your pieces. Next, you select your technical work group. You complete your submission information form. Record your video. Now you may choose the order of the exam. You could do technical work first, followed by pieces and songs, or pieces and songs, or songs followed by technical work. There is no problem. But of course, don't switch. Don't do one piece and then some technical work and then another piece and some technical work. I know nobody will do that. You take photos or scan any pieces chosen from alternate list or an own choice or own composition. Before you do your video, please watch the filming guide and check the filming guidance document for the video requirements. I will be going through that in a moment. When you log in, when you've received your details, your username and a password, you will see a space to upload your video file and exam documents. There will be a checklist on the submission page to help you ensure that you've uploaded everything. Before you submit, you will be asked to have a responsible adult sign a declaration to confirm your identity. No ID cards are needed, and that the work you are uploading is your own. And this adult is only necessary if you are below 18 years. When you submit, your submission will be confirmed by a message on the screen. If you receive this message, rest assured your exam has been received safely. So don't worry, but make sure you don't hurry up and log out before the message comes, because that's the confirmation that your exam has been received. For the upload, you need to ensure the video file is below 1 GB. Please make sure that if it is above 1 GB, and 1 GB is quite a big size, that you compress it. All the supporting documentation has to be uploaded, and the submission information form, which I will show you, also needs to be uploaded. For the results, the marking of the exam will take up to 2 weeks from the date of submission. It could happen quicker. You will receive an email to let you know that the exam has been marked. Now, when I say you, this is the candidate or whoever's email ID has been given. You can then log back into your account to read the feedback from the examiner and see your provisional result. You can download and print your report. Now, when I say provisional result, this is actually the final result, but it's called, terminology is provisional because till it gets onto the Trinity online system, it remains provisional. It takes about a week for it to be verified as final, and your certificate will follow within 2 weeks. And we hope and we believe that Trinity is going to stick to these timelines, so the turnaround is going to be pretty fast. This is also on the website. You can download it. When you receive the PDF, you can go through it. How you label your files, it's the same as last time. And how you prepare them, if you need to compress them, some apps have been suggested and you can do so. So I'm not going to go into this in details. I'm going to now move to the submission information form. Please listen carefully and follow this. It is the same for rock and pop as well as classical music. So right on the top, you have to tick the exam type. Classical jazz grade exam, rock and pop grade, ATCL diploma or LTCL diploma. After that, you have to put in the instrument, the grade on the right, the candidate name, candidate ID. Your ID will come with your login details, or the office can also provide the ID, and the date of submission of your exam. After that, you have this box here, which is the same as what you have in your appointment slip. You list your pieces in order of performance. If you have an own choice or own composition item for rock and pop or an own composition for classical, please tick the OC box. For rock and pop, please tick TF to indicate in the column to indicate which song has to be assessed for technical focus. And do make sure you choose a technical focus song. This is new now because of the choices in the technical work. In some instruments, it may be just section 1 and section 2. In others, it may be section 1, 2, 3, and in some it could be 1, 2, 3, 4. So please tick the technical work sections performed. Each instrument and grade has several choices, and there is a link to the technical work page here. It's not a live link here, but you can go onto our website and download the technical work choices. After you have ticked the relevant sections, if you've chosen to do studies or you're doing exercises for piano, you need to list the titles of the exercises or studies. So, and as said before, if any pieces or songs are performed from outside Trinity publications, it's essential to upload a scan or photo of the sheet music. For diplomas, all sheet music must be uploaded. Also, please specify which syllabus you are following. If it's the piano 18 to 20, please put that. From January, if you are using the 21 to 23, put that there. For guitar, strings, drum kit, classical guitar, acoustic guitar, you will have to list which syllabus you are following. And then there is the declaration, which is to be signed by a candidate if he's over 18, or a parent or guardian if under 18. And that says, I have uploaded my performance as one continuous take. The video has not been edited. I have listed my songs or pieces in the order of performance and indicated technical work choice, uploaded copies of all scores, and diploma candidates, I have uploaded my written program. So this form will be downloaded, filled, photographed or scanned, and then uploaded. There are some COVID special arrangements for music. We know that at the moment, we are not yet having classes. Teachers are not coming to homes. Children are not going to music schools. So we are still under this COVID special arrangements for music, which the document I will show you after this. So if you are using that, which means you're using a digital piano right up to grade 8, or you're using an electronic key drum kit set, you need to sign this form, which can be signed again by the parent if under 18, the candidate is under 18, and the candidate if you are over 18. So the details for the adjustments are here. These are the COVID special arrangements for digital music exams. Please read through this in detail and you will see what is allowed and what is not allowed. Moving on now to the filming guidelines, not much change there. And there are these two documents. I mean, there is a document, a PDF on the website, and I have put it up here also, telling you what to do and what not to do. But please remember, this question keeps coming. Do I introduce my pieces? The candidate does not need to speak before, after, or during the filming. Nothing should come across the screen except the recording of the candidate playing the pieces and technical work. And if you read through this, everything will be absolutely clear. And I will, as far as there's a lot of people asking for camera angles, which we did in our last webinars when we did the interim solution. So I will attach the PDF of that, the pictures that were there for camera angles. For drum kit and rock and pop drums, there's a lot of detail given. This is in the PDF document I'm talking about. There is also a video that you can see. And then there are these for the various other instruments which you need to read through. I'm not going to read through each one of them, but make sure you're visible to the camera. Your hands are visible, your feet are visible where you're using pedals. Singers could have mainly the upper part of their body visible, but otherwise face, hands, and all of your instrument should be visible so that the examiner can see what you are doing. Moving on to the entry process. Now, this is again a very, very important segment of this presentation. So do follow it. Don't be putting in questions just now. There is a new fee list for the digital exam. This is lower than the face-to-face exams. Candidates who paid the fees before the pandemic, which means in February or March, before we went into lockdown, need to appear for a digital or face-to-face if it opens before 31st December 2021. That is as far as they can carry the fees over. Existing candidates who have paid fees and are converting to digital may apply for a refund of the difference in fees, but after uploading their video. Please apply to your local customer support office after you finish uploading your video. New candidates, of course, deposit the new fee, and this will be as per the procedure followed by the local Trinity office. For fee deposit, there are 3 options, 2 really. The third is only available at certain centers. You deposit cash check at the designated branch of HDFC using the customized HDFC fee slip, which you can get at your local Trinity office. We have also now got an NEFT transfer to HDFC Bank. Details of this would have been sent by your local Trinity office. If not, you can ask them for all the details. I'm not going to go into that now. Some of the bigger centers, the metros, also have a credit card facility at the center, which can be used. Submitting your entry. You need to submit the entry and the proof of payment together in one email or at the local office. I think quite a few of the offices are not encouraging visits, so please send it over email. Remember to mention the bank reference number of your deposit. After that, you should have your entry before that on an entry form, which is sent to you by email. It's the mass enrollment sheet. There are separate files for classical music and rock and pop. Please make sure you fill the correct one. PAN number has to be given in the external ID column. I will just show that to you. This is required as per RBI specifications. If you want more details on that, please contact the Trinity office. You must give your date preference for the exam, and that should be between 15th and 30th of the month or 1st to 15th of the month. So if you want your exam in December in the second half, don't give a particular date. We may not be able to ensure that, but you can say between 15th to 30th December or you want it in the first half of January, or you want it in February, please specify which half of the month you would like it. Make sure all the information is correct, especially email ID, as the username password will come to this. Once the order is submitted, we will not be able to make any changes. So make sure you enter for the correct exam with the correct spelling of name and the email ID. Now, this is what the enrollment file looks like. Most of you would have seen it. Some may not have. So you have your usual first name, middle name, last name. The pink columns have to be filled. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to show you parts of this file which are a little different from the usual mass enrollment file. External ID is here before exam suite, and this is where you will fill your PAN card number. That will be the PAN card number of the person who's paying the fees, maybe the parent. If it's the teacher, then the teacher's PAN card number, or the student if he is above 18 and he has a PAN card. Now, this is what it will look like. First name, middle name, last name. If there is no last name, please put a dot in the column. Otherwise, it will not take. Date of birth, which should be in DD, MM, YYYY. These columns need not be filled. Gender needs to be filled. Your PAN number here. Exam suite, I'm going to show you this part in detail just now. And of course, the email ID. So this is for a rock and pop. So under exam suite, you must choose rock and pop digital. Do not choose rock and pop bass, rock and pop drums. Those are for face-to-face exams. Moving on to the second picture on the right, examination product name. Please choose rock and pop, if whatever grade it is, digital. Make sure digital is in brackets wherever you are. You'll see at the top here that you have rock and pop drums grade initial, no digital. This is for your normal exams, face-to-face exams. And in the last drop-down box of instrument, there is no instrument if you notice in the examination product name, you will choose your instrument. This is for rock and pop. This is for classical music. All this is the same as the rock and pop, but here again, you choose classical and jazz digital in the exam suite. In the product name, you choose the grade, classical and jazz grade 2 digital, and then you choose your instrument under the instrument or subject. This is how you need to fill the form. Please ask for help if you need it from your customer support office. Now, when you submit your entry, and when will you upload the video? A lot of questions on that. Entries and fees now can be submitted at any time. There are no closing dates. For entries received between 1st and 15th of the month, you will receive login details in the next 14 days. That means by 30th or 31st of the month. For entries received between 16th and the end of the month, you will receive login details by the 15th of the following month. Candidates will then have 14 days after the receipt of your login details to upload and submit their video. So I will just reiterate that there are no closing dates. If you submit your entry between 1st and 15th, you will receive login details by 30th or 31st of the month. And once you receive the login details, you have 14 days to upload your video. So please do not forget to give your preference of date, because if we put you in a wrong order and submit that order, you will be having to do the exam within 14 days of receiving your login details, which may not be your preferred time. So please give your exam preference when you make your entry. And the last segment, we have a lot of support on our website. There are videos explainer videos, downloadable guidance, which I put up in this presentation. There are blog posts to guide you through everything. And just visit the website, you'll find this all. Of course, this presentation will be coming to you. I have tried to be as thorough as possible, and I hope I have succeeded in that. Of course, you would have had a lot of questions. And lastly, for any kind of academic support, please mail me. Oh goodness, I forgot to remove the dot again. I'm sorry, my email ID is anjalimata@trinitycollege.in, not anjali.mata. And for operations support, please contact the local customer support office. This is a lot of information we have given you. Over the weekend, we will be sending you the PDF. We finish our last webinar tomorrow, as well as the recording of this webinar. So thank you so much for attending. I'm going to stop the screen share and come back to any questions or queries that we may have. And I'd like to ask the panel to please unmute themselves.
Yes. Ma'am,
yes, Swami. Yes.
There is a question about accompanist for vocal and violin.
Yeah. So for accompanying, as I said, we are not at the moment out of this lockdown. It's not an official lockdown, but nobody is going to schools or getting teachers to come home or going to teachers' homes. So you may use recorded accompaniment or you may play unaccompanied. Please read that document about COVID-19 special arrangements. I hope that is clear.
I have a very important question. A couple of people have asked about special needs children. For example, how do they attach the certificate testifying to their particular different ableness?
They only need to give it. They only need to give it to the customer support office. After that, it will be managed by us. Is that right, Soumya?
Sorry, ma'am. Tell me the question.
Special needs. Special needs.
Yeah,
they need to attach the certificate when they are uploading the video. So I said they need to give it to us at the customer support office, and we will take care of it from there.
Yes, you are correct, ma'am. Absolutely correct. You send the special request detail by email also. That will be taken care by us. So you will get whatever the required support when you are getting the username password.
So there is no special certificate that has to be attached. That is the question. The medical certificate does not have to be attached.
Not attached to your upload.
To the upload, exactly.
It should not be attached because see, in a face-to-face exam also, you do not submit it to the examiner. The information goes to the examiner from the center. Yes. So the same way, the information will go when the entry is made.
Yes.
Question from a teacher who says that can a teacher collect all the fees and just put that one PAN card of the teacher and one email ID only for all her students?
Yeah. Can I take this question, ma'am?
Yes.
Yeah. Of course, this is possible. No problem. Teacher can share the PAN number of his or her for all the candidates, and also teacher can able to share the his email address for all the candidates. Teacher or the applicant will receive that username password separately for the each candidates. So the teacher, example, giving a 10 candidates her email address, he will receive 10 emails from Trinity about username password.
Yes, I think that is a question from Mary Bracelet. So Mary, I think that was your question has been answered. There was a lot of doubt about the dates, first dates, last dates, but I think in the end you explained that very clearly. So I think no one needs to query that anymore.
I hope so. I went through it twice. If still you have a query, please ask the local customer support office.
So I think it's been well explained.
Yeah.
Ma'am, regarding one more query, I know it is already answered. There is one query from Rock and Pop 2014-19 syllabus. Can I use? I think definitely
not.
The thing is, no. The thing is that is for the classical suite of exams.
Classical.
Yeah,
yes, of course you can. not
said
rock
it's an
and pop.
overlap year. I've answered that. It's an overlap year,
It's
and
answered.
that overlap
No,
year,
no,
and the year must be mentioned also.
no.
We have-
Also, see, what does they mean by the 2014 to 19? The last syllabus that came is 2016 to 19. That is the one that needs to be used if you are using the old syllabus, and that is valid till 31st July 2021. I don't think they can use, there is no syllabus which says 2014 to 19. There is a
Yes.
syllabus that says 2016 to 19. So please make sure you have the correct syllabus. I don't know which instrument it's being asked for.
Drum kit. It's been asked for drum kit.
Yeah, I think the candidate has mistaken that for rock
Yes,
and pop.
yes, yes.
I think he had a confusion with rock and pop. I explained that rock and pop is ongoing. It changed
Yes.
into 2018 and it is ongoing. The classical.
There is no change.
There is.
Otherwise, please mail me and I will address the query in details.
Yeah.
And somebody, has this been answered? What we have to hold in front of the camera?
No, that was for the prompt sheet.
Yes, so it's been answered.
Yeah.
There were many questions about what to hold in front of the camera. This particular one, no. I think it came right in the beginning. So I think you made it clear that a prompt sheet had to be held up in front of the
Only
camera.
for the technical work. Nothing else needs to be held up. No book, nothing.
The other question was that is it compulsory to hold a prompt sheet? And I said it is the choice of the candidate. It does not compulsory to hold up that prompt sheet.
I
You
think
hold
it
up
is.
the prompt sheet, but they don't want to. Yeah,
you don't need to use it, but you need to hold it up and show it. Yes.
Ma'am,
because
one more question regarding theory exam online. But I want to make it clear there will be no. Treat is not yet planned online exam for theory. We are planned the exam in February 6 to 2021 for the candidate who already paid the fee for some May month. We will accept new entry also. We will definitely inform.
I've said that. Yes, I've made that clear. We are having an exam in 21, but there is no plans for having it online exam. That was a question asked people. That's been answered.
And there was a question from Rishabh. One piece in the guitar, it's a different tuning. So can a tuner come in between the video?
For a grade 5 exam, I don't think I'm seeing this. There's one question, plectrum guitar grade 5. I have to change the tuning. So can I use a tuner or to do the same? Not a tuner comes in, but you can use a tuner to do so. You can do that. It's a tuner. It's that instrument.
It's a device you can use.
The device you can use. Yeah, you can't have anybody coming in. Yes, that was Rishabh Gupta.
There is one more question. Page turner. Parent can be a page turner.
Yes, a parent can turn the page. There is no problem. But generally, page turning is only allowed between grade 6 to 8. Please remember that. Not below that. You have to do your own page turning below that. Also,
yes, they want to know if somebody can announce the scale work at the higher grades, or is it only for the lower grades?
No, there's no specification that you cannot announce at the higher grades. You can announce. Yes, it's just said that it is useful for younger candidates. But if the candidate is more comfortable with somebody announcing it, that's fine. Though I don't think they should need it. Okay, the file format is same as in the interim exam, MP4, MOV, all that is there. I will send these slides again, I think, to everybody who have attended in PDF form, because this was all covered in our interim solution.
Yes, and I think some questions about wanting sample videos of exams or how to play. I said they can visit.
I'm sorry, we will not be able to provide that. No sample videos. We will just send you the camera angles. That's it.
Yeah, that's available.
So,
if the video has any errors or comments, will it be sent back for correction? I'm not getting
It
that.
will if there is something technically wrong and they're not able to. It won't be sent back, but you will be asked to resubmit. So do not delete your video.
A form of
Vishal Narayan is asking, he says, please help, I'm not getting any reply. Has he
I have
got a
given him
reply?
reply. We have
All
replied.
right.
He's the one about the
Is it
rock.
drum kit? Is that
Okay, okay,
it's,
Yeah.
it's answered? Yeah.
yeah.
Which form of certificate will they get? Will be the same as it is for the face-to-face.
Exactly the same.
Yes.
Exactly the same.
They want to a suggestion for a good video compressing app.
It's given in this presentation. That is what is recommended by Trinity. You can use your own also, whatever suits you. They're all good apps available.
I think if someone needs to turn a page and has used a photocopy page, they do not need
Yes.
to show that to the camera. It's apparent. It's
You don't
obvious.
need to show it. You can just have it on the music stand. That's fine. We understand that. Theory, deadline.
Metronome clicks are not allowed. before
No,
starting.
I mean, not for classical music. Not for classical. Classical grade, does it include piano? Yes, it does. Can we register as many times? Has somebody answered that? Yes, you may register by paying the fees as many times as you want. Okay, anything else or shall we sign off now?
You can sign off.
Yes, ma'am. We almost covered. If anything is that they will keep in touch with the local customer support office.
Yes, and
I think
I'm seeing
all the syllabus.
I'm seeing that this question is about classical exams. Candidates allowed to use metronome clicks before starting any piece or exercise. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So please remember that. You don't use it in a live exam for classical music.
How much closer should the prompt sheet be shown on the camera? It should be able to be visible.
As long as it's visible. Now, come on, we're not going to give you how many feet and how many inches. So everybody is sensible enough for this.
And more
Okay.
last one, I don't know. It's quite clear. Yes. Okay.
All right. So I think we'll sign off now. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending. And any questions, please mail us. Remember, my ID is Anjali Mata, not Anjali.Mata. And you could mail the customer support office also. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. And happy examining. Not examining, happy appearing for exams.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, panelists.